In chapter 6, we found ourselves propelled down the road to judgment by the successive opening of the six scrolls. In chapter 7, we hit the pause button for a little interlude. Not only does this pause serve to break the tension that was building, but it also provides an answer to the question that was being asked in chapter 6. How long, O Lord, how long? Why this delay in your judgment? The answer? God still has work to do. We first hear of the 144,000 from the 12 tribes of Israel. These are then sealed by God. It harkens to our own baptismal rite, where we speak of being sealed by the Holy Spirit and marked with the cross of Christ forever. Or again in Ephesians, where it is spoken of being the seal serving as a pledge of our inheritance. Marked with Christ's identifying cross as protection from the divine wrath and a promise of salvation. The number 144,000 symbolizes perfection or completeness, not an actual numbering. It speaks of the restoration of Israel. God has chosen Israel to be his priestly kingdom, but the call is now extended to all of those who are redeemed by the Lamb. It's a continued expansion of Christianity far beyond the idea of it being simply a Jewish sect. In the second half of the chapter, we see a vision of God's great multitude. The promise we heard of the 144,000 is now realized in our sight. God's scope of salvation and redemption is broad. The question of the second half of the last chapter, who is able to stand, is now answered as well. Those who are standing before you, those who have been redeemed by the Lamb through his blood. These are marked by white robes, symbolizing purity and honor, holiness, palm branches of victory, and singing songs of salvation that come from God and the Lamb. This scene, this interlude, serves as anticipation for the final vision in the Revelation, that of the New Jerusalem coming down out of heaven. It marks not an escape from the world or its sufferings, but rather the hope that God is in the process of renewing all of creation, and that all, including us, will be made new. We have heard and we have seen. We have heard of the 144,000. We have seen the great multitude. But what have we heard and seen in these words today? What are the words, the visions that crop up in our heads as we hear these words or read these words? Take time to jot them down, ponder them, pray over them. They are clues to what God might be saying in your life today. And what does it mean for you to be one of those marked by the cross of Christ? To be the baptized? How do you understand that in the midst of the turmoil of the world around you? And what does that mean for you? And in this, what might God be calling you to do in this time of interlude, this time between his dying and rising and his coming again? How is God making you new or calling you to new things? Take time to journal these questions or share them with friends or family. I thank you.